Thank you. I'd like to thank the mayor ahead of time for the fast response and the documents are requested. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Guy Brock. Considering the time restraints, I'd like to direct the mayor and the board, the city board, to orgtalk.com, where you'll find a commentary written by me, along with some pictures and some videos considering the recent tree trimming issues. I'd also like to request that if the utility superintendent is finished with his properties, trimming his trees on his properties, could the city consider directing him to trim the trees from the power lines between 10th and 11th Streets and P and Q streets, and the trees hanging over Q Street between 10th and 11th, and on 11th Street between P and Q. There's many trees in this area that could pose a danger to the public. These trees, there's quite a few elderly ladies that's walking around underneath these trees. In the streets, there is no sidewalk there. And the kids on daycare, the folks there, they take them out, take the kids out, walk them around the block, this type of thing. Again, we've got these trees hanging over the streets. We have trucks going up through there that's banging on the trailers, and I think it needs some attention. Thank you.
Paul, do you want to?
Yeah, I do. I guess I'll put on my other hat today and be a landowner along as utility superintendent. And unfortunately, I read Org Talk, and a lot of people do read Org Talk, and the accusations and especially the calls that have went to the council, I think were unwarranted, and a lot of things that I was accused of, which I will get into in front of the council. Hope you got a little time here, because I've been accused of a lot of things, and I think it's a defamation of my character. And I've did some work with Mr. Brock on different issues, and I don't think I've ever treated you non-professionally with your building permits and whatnot. But anyway, getting to the first thing. Work orders on projects. I do not put out work orders every day. We meet in our shop. We decide what needs to be done on a list, a very long list that I do have. We decide at that time where we're going to go, what we're going to do. We might be on a project for half an hour and get pulled off and go to another area. We have all the time on-call things. I do have a 1 and 6 year plan. I have a 1 year plan. Do we get everything done on those plans? No, because we don't know what we're going to be doing for sure. It depends on the weather, depends on whatever. On 1105 G Street trimming, which is Mr. Edgehill's property, which abuts my 1103 rental property. I was down there picking up limbs on a Saturday. I looked up into the trees there, and there were two big 12 to 18 inch tree limbs going up in the middle of the tree. And if you go down there, it's the third tree from the north. I said my crew could go in there, trim the trees. They could back across my property and do it. In the process, they knocked some limbs off on the north side to get the bucket up in there. And as I thought, those 25 foot high trunks were so rotten that we broke them off with our hands. We didn't even have to saw them. When they were up in the air, they cut a limb off that was hanging towards my house. And you'll probably wonder why it was cut back to the tree. And that's because my boys went to tree trimming, and that's the way you're supposed to prune a tree. You're supposed to cut it back to the tree so the rest of the trunk doesn't die. I guess as far as the power line there, these trunks were big enough and large enough, if they would have fell across Mr. Edgehill's power line, it could even snap the pole off to the north. And you can believe what you want to believe, but that's fine. I know you are hot onto private enterprise. Mr. Edgehill called me a year ago and asked me to cut those trees. And in fact, we went down there and cut the north tree, topped it down. You wanted us to take all 5 of them down. I believe that's the way it was.
That's wrong.
You wanted us to top all 5.
No, I just wanted the power line cleared. My power line's been pulled off that house 3 times since I've owned it, and they've never cut the trees except for when I asked last year.
Okay. I guess I got the floor here. Anyway, to clear your power line, we'd have to cut the trees clear down. We attacked the dead wood that was up in the tree, and I'll leave it at that. On your Ord talk, shady real estate deals, along with PMS this, PMS. I'm assuming you're talking about the Viero deal. That's what you said, Viero and Schoolhouse, shady deals. I bought those properties after they were on sale for over 2 years. Over 2 years, they were on the market. They went from Wolf, they went to Fox, they went back to Wolf. I owned those properties for 16 months. I rented them. I fixed them up and rented them. If you can remember what they looked like before, they were overgrown with weeds, appliances, whatever was in there. At that particular time, I was at the state basketball tournament when the city clerk called me and said that Viero was looking for a lot.